um, classes that we run, we tell you how to sort of step back and it's not about you. It's not about your hurt. It's not about what dunya ki kahogi. It's about that you got to be present and how you can help your child as best as possible. So we will definitely roll that out when we come back, and then
No, we'll do a
yeah,
proper individual on
yeah.
that. The next question, and there's a big misconception by the Muslim community that you only target Muslim groomers. But I know, you know, the amount of up in there people you've took them to court and put in jail for grooming young kids. You know, talk a bit about what's been happening recently with,
Well, you know,
you know,
listen. I mean, it's only maybe last year we won a case. Yeah, we won a case
mm,
in Snaresbrook Crown Court, um, where the girl was being sexually abused by her stepfather,
this is Sikh.
Punjabi
They're all Sikh. These are Sikh cases, by the way.
Punjabi family. Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
make it Punjabi family because I don't
Okay.
consider them as Sikhs. Punjabi
Okay.
families, okay. And I started talking to the girl just maybe just before lockdown, but we reported it after lockdown to the police. But because there was a lot of backlogs in courts, this case didn't actually go until last year, or if I'm right, a year and a half ago. But it was in Snaresbrook, and we sent the guy down for 18 years,
Mm.
18 saal.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Then people said to me,
Mm.
those people who were supporting him, they said that don't support the girl. If you carry on supporting the girl, we will never invite you to our Gurdwara.
Mm. Cover-ups, innit?
Yeah. So, and then the biggest thing we could do, we did it with the Fauja Singh, yeah,
Yeah.
who had thousands of Sikh followers, and we outed him throughout the world. He's been stopped from America, from Canada, from everywhere.
You just make any when you out people in our Sikh Punjabi community,
You
you're
make
gonna make
enemies.
them. Yeah.
You make
Yeah.
enemies. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can
It's
have
not easy.
one. You know. Look. Okay. We did a case in Canada, and it was a Saka Bab, her biological father raping her from the age of 6 all the way to 14. Now we made so many trips out there, supported her through a court case and everything. We got threatened. We got they were bribing us. Also, they were putting on some silly Instagram stuff about us. So if you can't get him this way, you can't get him that way, get him this way. But you know what? We stood by the girl, and he was sentenced. We went out and we spotted a girl who was abused by her chacha, and we got him convicted, and he went down for 8 years.
Mm.
I can roll off all the cases we've done. I mean, you just have to go and look at our uh, series that we did with the Sikh channel. Um, a girl from Montreal who was sexually abused by her fuffbud from the age of 6. We went out there to support her. A
Mm.
couple of years ago, I made a video from Vancouver. A 13-year-old girl, her nana was abusing her. We've outed everyone. So I think people just have to people look at the current content. People look at the
Yes.
current content, right? People don't go
Mm.
back. They just look at the last post and say, "Oh, he's targeting again. He's targeting again." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hidden
Yeah.
agendas. You know
And
about the.
also, Mal, as an organization, I can only act and react on the telephone calls that we get. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, you're right. It's not pick
Now,
and
if
choose,
they're
isn't it?
coming from one, if a mother and father are not bothered if their child is going with a Hindu or a Gora, that's not my problem. You get it? But
Mm.
a mother and father would be bothered if their daughter was going with a Muslim or a Kala, and we get a call.
Mm.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
We can only act on the calls that we get. We can't create cases. ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੜੀਏ, ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੜੀਏ, ਅੱਜ we can only act on the messages that we get and the telephone calls that we get through to our office, and then we look at the cases. And if it's a Pakistani, we'll deal with it. If it's an Apna, we have never let an Apna case go. We have taken it to court. And I can actually prove all the cases that have gone to court.
Yeah, because you're against the crime, innit? It doesn't matter who does it, I know.
It's a crime, but the problem is when people have a perception and they've already made an image, that image sticks in their head because they will see Mohan Singh talking to Gore podcasters. They will see Mohan Singh on a Goreandi stage in front of 30,000. Is Mohan Singh a right wing? Is Mohan Singh a Tommy supporter? You will have so many stories around this. The truth is, whatever platform there is to speak on sexual abuse, I will use that platform. I want the crime outed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There was
ਤੇ
that.
ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਰਾਈਟ ਵਿੰਗ ਆ, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਵਿੰਗ ਆ, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਵਿੰਗ ਆ, ਫੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਓ, ਫੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਓ। ਔਰੰਗਜ਼ੇਬ ਨੇ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ? ਸਾਰਾ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਵਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਨਾ in that time. ਤੇ why was Maharaj sitting with his son? Why did Maharaj send his army to support his son?
100%.
ਕੋਈ ਨੀਤੀ ਵੀ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ just don't look, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਦਾ ਪੀਰੀਅਡ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ, ਉਹ ਪੀਰੀਅਡ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ।
No, I remember.
Go on.
No, I remember there was a case you had, and I can't go into details, but some rough Muslims helped you. One of the top Muslims in the country. I know we don't want to name names, but they actually helped you get the girl back in it.
That's right.
Because so you actually work with.
Well, that was a case
people,
in the Midlands, to be precise. That was a case in.
And they said it was wrong, and the way it was happening was wrong, and these ain't no mess about guys. They make
no. This was in West Brom. This was a case in West Brom, but this case was like everybody knew. All the big gurdwaras knew it. Her actual name was actually. They made a speech about it from Smedhi Gurdwara, and other organization already spoken to the mother as well, but nobody did anything. And then we went in, and then took us about 3 months to sort it out, but it was all sorted out, sort of thing. But people, when people have images about people, then they just have that image because it's stuck in their heads. I mean, if you went to, I got a book sent to me today. I haven't read it, and she sent it on a PDF file. Yeah. And she's in Appani Kudi, and she's in America, in New York. And she said, read the book, Virji, and you will see my story in that. She's writing it, so she's written a book. And maybe these signs can help other people. And her perpetrator is also her family member. So if I was only dealing with one side, one community, why would people send me their private information about cases like that?
There was that case, remember in Southall, where Singh was putting drugs on the Hazuri.
Yeah.
Could you kind of tell that in detail? Because I tell people I can't. Obviously, don't to mention names or whatever.
I got a call from Slough. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ, there's like a terrible case. One of the guys is 14 and one of the guys is 19, but it's a sexual case. So I went to that case, and I think ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਘਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਆ. He used to be a lot on Facebook and Instagram, and if I do remember his name, Devinder Singh ਸੀਗਾ, Devinder Singh, and he was suffering from some illness, and he done some work for the PA ਕੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ
Sikh PA.
Sikh PA. He was running Sikh PA for a year or so as well. Anyway, he called me in, and when we went, there was about ਪੰਜ ਛੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. And I went with one of my sevadars from Birmingham. I then emptied the room and I started talking to the two boys, the 19-year-old and the 14-year-old. And they said, "You're not going to believe us." And I said, "Why?" Because the perpetrator, you know very well. I said, it doesn't matter if I know someone or not. Please inform me of the name. Now, I'm not going to give you the name because of legal reasons, okay?
100%, 100%.
Right? And when they said the name, I did take a deep breath and I thought, wow. Okay, I said, no problem. Okay, then I took the 19-year-old boy out as well. I said, "Tum bahar ja. I just want to talk to the 14-year-old." Yeah? So the way I talk to people, I can't explain the whole procedure, but for me, this kid was telling the truth. Yeah? This kid was telling the truth, and I then suggested to them that I will contact somebody in the Met, the sexual assault team, the grooming team, and it's a special team of about 9 people. I will contact them and arrange a meeting with the boy. I contacted the inspector. He gave me the address where to go, and I obviously went back to London, picked up both of the boys with our Sevadas, took them to the police station. It's a special police station because you can do video recording, camera recording, everything. Utte sara kuch hega ya. After the recordings, the policeman said to me that the 19-year-old boys I don't think we can charge him with that. But the 14-year-old boys, we can. Okay. And then obviously they had to talk to these kids again. And this guy who I knew, the perpetrator, he used to, because he was a university lad and he used to know all the London universities. So I used to, because I come across him in London universities when doing my talks. Then he used to say, "Just tell me and I'll book all the universities." So it was very easy for the SAS, the team, to call him and get all the universities booked in one go, sort of thing, rather than ringing the universities and arranging time and stuff like that. So he only used to book programs in the universities for us. That's all he was. But it really shook me. So I had he was out the country when this was happening. He was on holiday somewhere in Spain or somewhere. And then as soon as I put it out on the close networks, then I had other people, girls, contacting me as well. So we spent a lot of time going up and down the motorway, staying nights there and being away from home and everything like that. And ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੋਵਰਡ ਹਾਊਸ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਨੋਵਰਡ ਹਾਊਸ ਉੱਥੇ Norwood Green, sorry. ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਉਹ ਹਜੂਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ, he used to put this thing on the hajuria, so when they put it over your mouth and you smell it, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੇਹੋਸ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ,
When they
it knock
do
you out.
when they're doing their party, they used to put it there, huh? Santia or
That's
something.
right. So
Hmm.
then you would go into a sort of deep sort of a sleep, and and then he would do what he was doing. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's the gist of the case. Now the case, I supported the kid all the way, and then we took it to court, and it was in Isleworth Crown Court, and the court was set for 1 week because it was one-on-one, perpetrator and the victim. And obviously the Met Police came to they came to Wolverhampton to take my interview. I was there. My Sevadar was in another town. Oda interview ਲੈਣ ਗਏ ਉੱਥੇ, because we're the first respondent, we're the first people that the boy actually told, yeah? So we were witnesses to the case. So I took a week off from work just to be there at the case. On the first day, you just get the jury and everything set. But the boy disappeared. The 14-year-old boy disappeared.
Was he sexually abused? So when they done that Hazuri,
Yeah,
when he
sexually
when
abused.
yeah.
Sexually abused. But the boy disappeared.
Hmm.
And then on Tuesday, I think it was by about 3 o'clock, we were told there's no victim, there's no case. Where's the
Hmm.
boy? Now we're led to believe that the boy's family was paid off a big lump sum or something, and he just sort of went underground for a bit. I don't know what the true story is, but as you can see, if we can take one of our own to court,
That case is yeah. The police had all the the drive GPS. They had all the internet searches of the poison that he had in it. They had
that's right.
they would have convicted him. He would have went
Oh
jail.
yeah, yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
100%,
they're not there. And he was like
100%.
sexually abusing the boys. Was he having sex in the Gurdwara as well with some women as well? No,
Well, it was
girl.
the sexual act happened in one of the gurdwaras. I don't want to say the gurdwara's
Yeah.
name because, but you could say it was in a gurdwara in Southall.
Mm.
And when the teacher went in, you know how when you're doing something silly, you sort of start, you're nervous and everything. And then when the boy and the girl left, there was a used condom there. So
In the Gurdwara, no?
well, it was like a Punjabi classroom environment. It
But
wasn't actually side in the main building of the Gurdwara. It was a Punjabi
acha.
class.
In the
Jitte
Gurdwara
Punjabi
premises,
class.
was it in the Gurdwara premises though, no? In the
Oh,
Gurdwara.
I actually think that the Gurdwara, no, there was a bit in between. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ
Acha,
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
acha.
ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਹੋਰ ਲਈ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਹਨਾ? But
No,
it belonged to the Gurdwara, or the Gurdwara was hiring it, or whatever. I don't know. You know?
no. The reason,
But we
yeah.
did a lot. We did a lot of stuff on that, and I met, privately. I met some of these girls, but they didn't want their names out there, and but they were feeding me a lot of information and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, the reason why I mentioned that
Yeah.
case is the technique of the Hazuria, Hana, and like
Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah.
so sophisticated and so tricky. So I just
Well,
wanted,
you know what? On that particular case, the general secretary of the Gurdwara where it took place, he was very, 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 very supportive.
fair play.
And yeah, the general secretary was very supportive, and whatever we needed, I mean, we had whole access to the whole thing. So probably, if I'm being honest, when we bring out cases, um, you don't get that kind of support because
Yeah,
it's about your own team. But he was very supportive. And the last one, I mean, you can actually have a look. There was a Gyani. and his name, I forgot, Mohan Singh Moji.
Hmm.
I can talk about his because now he's serving 30 years behind bars.
Bloody hell,
Now,
30 years.
his abuse started about 30 years ago in the Luton sort of area. And then he moved to Milton Keynes and Northampton and Corby and them areas. And I remember doing a talk in, there was one Sevadar in Luton who's very close to us, and he was dealing with the case on our behalf. And yeah, I remember doing a talk in Northampton 2 years ago, and the daughter of the Gyani was actually sitting there in the Darbar Sahib, and she ran out because I actually mentioned at that time. At that time, he wasn't convicted yet. There was a case hanging over his head, and I think 6 months later, he went to court, and he's been done because the girls are from different parts of the country. The girls don't know each other, but the girls all had the same story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's same. And we also investigated because only somebody last night prompted it. We also investigated a Pacharak in Canada and America who abused over 30 children across America and Canada. But with that case, um, we had no uh, victim ready to go to the police. It was all I can't go to the police or study family with them. And also the perpetrator, he's got a family, probably millionaires,
Hmm.
backing him. And so if anybody labels him as a predator or something like that, you know the North American culture is, sue the person,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Lawsuit,
Yeah,
lawsuit,
and
not
so
lawsuit country.
millionaire, billionaire person got money to throw away. If you speak against him, he'll say 30,000. Let's see you in court, and you ain't got 30,000 to spend. So a lot of people got scared that way. But that particular person, his abuse started in Bellingham, which is in USA. On the other side is Vancouver, which is Canada. There was about 13 victims in Surrey at and I can say at the Guru Nanak Academy, and then moved on to Calgary, Winnipeg, and Toronto and Montreal. So there was a trail of sort of abuse across, and that year we went across talking to victims, but we never had a victim, or we never had a person who would say, I will go to the police, because I still think if out of the 32 that we sort of estimate, even if one still went today, I think you could still do the person.
100%. This is the problem in our community, They just don't.
Yeah. So people don't actually see some of the work we do, and people see what they want to see. So sometimes you have certain labels, and labels stick. So, but it doesn't bother us because we know what we're doing, and